Surprise, surprise. Y'all, we are live. Welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen in this video, but that's okay. I'm going to live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Happy holidays. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. Welcome back. And yeah, like and subscribe.
Yes, please. Please subscribe to us both. Mrs. Best has also shows that I may not recap on my channel. We recap on her channel. So we have Love and Hip Hop that will be with you guys hopefully later on tonight. So please don't miss out on that. And then we also have a slew of other shows that are coming starting the new year. So we are excited to be here. We're excited to be back full-fledged and trying to make sure that overall we keep being consistent here because it is tough, especially when you're not getting paid to do this shit. Shana, we missed you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you always being first, my love. So, y'all, I'm not gonna waste y'all time because I still have family in town. I still got a lot to do today. So let me go ahead and get this over with so that way we can leave y'all to it. You know what's funny is that Mrs. Best has been reminding me all week that this is coming on, apparently. So I finally buckled down and watched it this morning, and I said, Lord, I have better shit to do than to watch this. I got a test to pass, all that shit. So, but hey, I'm here. So let's get on to it. So we start the episode off with Nell and Chris Fletcher. They're in their theater room and they're discussing what happened with the kids. I guess this was the night before. And Nell says that she is tired of Chris just sitting up there and making her be the fall guy, raising her voice, getting her blood pressure all up, everything, yelling at them damn kids about finances, babysitting, all this shit. She tired of it. She says she need him to speak up. Chris talking about, well, when I speak up now, it tends to get you more agitated. So I just sit back from experience. I just sit back and I just let things happen the way it happens. And I always will support you now. I always will. And Nell said, no, I don't need you to sit back. This is what I need you to pipe up. I'm tired of fighting this fight. I'm tired of raising my voice. I'm tired of doing all of that. I got to do it with these raggedy ass heifers that's on the show. I got to do this with my badass children. And then here you is being silent, Chris. I can't take it no more. She didn't say it like that, y'all, but that's how I got it. That's what came out of her mouth in my mind because that's what she should have said. This is my problem with Nell. And as I said, I can relate to having a mom like Nell. I can relate to this. Nell, you don't have to respond to everything. Nell, you don't have to do everything. Nell, you ain't got to respond to these raggedy ass heifers. And Nell, you ain't got to be mad at Chris. You could just sit there and be quiet and let the chips fall where they may. That's when everybody will get up and understand something. You ain't got to do all of this. I'm just saying. So, Mrs. Best, how do you feel about this scene with Nell and Chris?
I don't understand why Nell has the blackest eyebrows that God could make. Nell,
Oh,
get you a pencil that's a shade lighter. Separately, I'm tired of it. Y'all know I don't like this show, but it looked like Nell has some cracks in the foundation of her marriage. Foundation being the things that count. There's no reason that you should be with anyone, whether you're the husband or the wife, however the hell. There's no reason that you should be with someone for so long and they ask you the same thing over and over and over, and you say to yourself, "Oh, I just know to just let her have her moment and get it out." But she's telling you that's not what she wants, and she wants you to do things to help prevent the moment. It tells me there's some issues with communication in their relationship,
yep.
but they both old dogs. It's hard to teach them new tricks. I feel like since I've watched Love and Marriage Huntsville and been in this bout of misery because I do not enjoy this show, all I have seen with Nell is the same thing season after season as it relates to the kids, bitching at Fletcher, and all of this. And I'm sick of it. At some point, you can walk away, you cannot respond. Chris should listen, but I'm just still like, no. if he's showing you he not gonna change, then I'd say fuck everybody and stop doing for them. But you can't continue to do and then complain. So I'm kind of over it.
I am too.
And
I'm
hello,
very much over it.
Shani. My husband said hello from the toilet.
Yes, hello, Kevin Reynolds. Thank you for being here. Don't worry, we got you covered because this show surprised everybody coming on this lovely holiday that everybody is enjoying. Um, he's at church right now, but I will tell him when he gets back. Okay, all right, so I'm caught up. So that was pretty much their scene. So the next scene we have is Destiny. She meets up with Letitia and Kimmy, and they are talking about the whole festivities event because she had met up with Chris Fletcher and Martell, and she heard from Chris that Nell felt like the ladies were ganging up on her. And Kimmy was like, ganging up on her or holding her accountable? Because I can distinctly remember the four of us out of the five were going to Nell saying that she was hollering at us, and she was being belligerent, she was being messy and all this. And we were telling her, hey, you're not gonna do that. We didn't gang up on Nell. I said, Kimmy, you and your Velma wig need to sit down somewhere. Because unless there is something we did not see as the viewing audience, it did look like on television, which is all we can go by, that y'all ganged up on this lady. Because first, and I love how you started where you started. First off, y'all, you went to Nell, you specifically, Kimmy, went to Nell and said, hey, we need to have a talk with you. Nell wasn't trying to go out there and talk to y'all because this was her event and she was trying to have fun. She didn't want to have no conversation. She wanted to keep the conversation light. You pushed her to go out there and talk to her. So already she's on the defense because she did not want to do this in the first place. And then after y'all persist to try to chastise her, she asked y'all, what are y'all doing? What is going on? Like, I'm not trying to do this. And you told her specifically, Nell, if you don't stop yelling at me, I'm going to throw your ass in that pool. Mrs. Best, this is where I need you to chime in and help me out because maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is that not what ganging up is? Or am I missing something here?
They know what they're doing. They're not doing a good job at bullshitting for the camera. I'm sick of Kimmy. I'm sick of Tisha. They're not accountable. The fans have been saying, and they pay attention. We know this cast pays attention to social media and YouTube and what's going on. And there's not a YouTuber on the planet or anybody blogging about this show that doesn't feel like Kimmy and Letitia be full of shit and lack transparency. So I feel like they are just picking a fight with Nell the way that they picked a fight with Melody to points where she got sick of them and said, we gonna leave the show and see how much liked y'all really are. We still don't like either of the Scott women. We still don't like their husbands. And I'm sick of discussing these people. I just am. I'm fucking sick of it. That like the whole episode, Kimmy and Tisha just got on my nerves. Especially Kimmy though, because this is Kimmy. Kimmy is wishy washy as fucking a pick me to me, y'all. Because I could have swore this lady said when I was watching earlier seasons of this show that the only reason she deal with Tisha is because this is her sister in law. Yet now that Mel is not here, you suddenly siding with Tisha when you're in her face, but then in Kimmy's confessional, she obviously feels very differently. So I cannot, I just cannot watch Kimmy no more. I cannot watch Tisha no more. They both irritated me, and Tisha got a big ass head.
They irritated me because I feel like they're trying, unless once again, they cut it out to make it look like Nell was getting ganged up on. And maybe they start this conversation from the middle. But from what I saw, it was 100% Nell was ganged up on. But whatever, y'all. I'm not finna go. So Destiny said, well, I have this cute idea, still in Will's idea about the date, because she says, I went on a date with this guy and he brought a picnic basket. So Kimmy goes, well, what happened to Googly Eyes? And Destiny said nothing. We can still talk and everything. She goes, oh, so you just kicking him for the curve for Will? And I said, Kimmy, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is giving you still bitter about her and Jalen at this point, because why do you keep questioning this situation and her. She says she's dating. You could date multiple people. You don't have to just stick to one. Kimmy was getting on my nerves with that shit. That shit was stupid. But she tells the ladies that all the ladies are going to go to, girls trip to a winery. And she would like, everyone to put something that's sentimental so the girls could all get to know each other again. And Tisha was like, I don't want to go. I mean, I'll go, but I want to be with Nell. I don't want to do all this and everything. And Destiny was like, look, you're going to come. You're going to have a good time. It is what it is. I'm like, oh, God, Tisha, go somewhere. Go sit down, Lord. So the next scene we have from there is Nell meeting up with Destiny. And she's pretty much extending the same invitation she did to Tisha and Kimmy to now Nell. And Nell was very apprehensive about going because Destiny brings up in the situation of her feeling ganged up on. And Nell said, yeah, I definitely feel ganged up on. Destiny said, by me? And she said, not particularly by you. And I told you that at that moment. I said, I don't have an issue with you or Trish. It is Scott 1.0 and 2.0 that I have the issue with because it seems like they were trying to gang up on. And Destiny's like, okay, well, I would like you to go on this girls' trip. And then I have this picnic basket. I want you to put something sentimental. I feel like to me, Destiny at this point, just at this point, was trying to cover her ass. Because I think she knew she put her foot in her mouth by telling Tisha that bullshit and then getting back to Tisha in a way that seemed more messy than it was supposed to. Because all Nell said was, look, don't talk about my grandchild. Don't talk about the shit, whether if I do or not is nobody's business, which it isn't. But the way it was brought back to Tisha, it was messy. So I feel like Destiny is trying to backpedal a little bit to make sure she stands clear of the drama. Because clearly, like Kimmy said in her confessional, this started because of Destiny. So that's all I feel. That scene was really nothing. Mrs. Best, anything else you want? Is there anything you want to add to this before I move on?
Not particularly. It was draining.
Okay, good. So we're going to move on. So the ladies then get to, I guess this was Kimmy's office. So Destiny booked 2 Ubers XLs. She had Nell and Trish in one, and then Kimmy and Tisha in another one. So she first rides with Kimmy and Tisha. And as they're going on the way, they're having a conversation. And Destiny said that she had talked to Nell and, she had brought up, what they were talking about her feeling ganged up on and everything. And she just really wanted to make sure that, Nell knew from her standpoint, it wasn't like that. And Tisha goes, okay, well, did she want to apologize to me? And Destiny was like, no, we didn't talk about her apologizing to you. She goes, why not? And she goes, the same way I didn't ask you to apologize to Nell. That just didn't come up in conversation. And why would it? She goes, oh, well, I just feel like I didn't do anything wrong. So I feel like Nell owes me an apology. She's the one that got up out of character and everything. And Destiny was like, okay, but that's not what we were talking about, Tisha. We're not talking about that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying where Nell comes from and everything and wanted to make sure she was okay. That's all that it was. And they're going back and forth. And I said, okay, Destiny, look at you stepping into Tisha. Because at first I didn't think Destiny had it in her. I really didn't think Destiny had it in her to really be mutual and hold people accountable. I thought she was going to be one of them bandwagon heifers that just jump on the back of whoever is popular. So she actually was like, no, I'm going to stand on the side of right. Y'all are both wrong in this situation, which... I mean, Nell is wrong to an extent because she did add on after, but at the same time, Tisha started it. Because you didn't have to go back and tell Destiny that Nell left because she had a new grandbaby. You didn't have to tell her that. That's something if you did have knowledge of, you should have just kept it to yourself. Just say, okay, well, maybe she'll tell you when she gets back. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to say specific details that were personal. So Destiny was like, okay, well, this is what I'm about to do. Driver, can we pull over and I'm gonna check on the ladies in the other Uber. Let me see how they doing. So they pull over and she knocks on the window and she goes, how y'all doing? And they were like, good, we're doing great. She goes, okay, so we're gonna switch things up a little bit. So I'm gonna have the married ladies in this car. So Trish, you still technically are a married lady. And Trish said, don't play with me, don't fuck with me like that, Destiny. Don't play with me like that. And I said, well, hell, it's the truth. You still married to the motherfucker, but regardless if you want to or not, you still married to him. You ain't doing the shit to get out of it. So why the fuck is she lying? I can't stand Trish, y'all. I just can't. Ugh. But the ladies switch vehicles. Destiny checks in on Nell and just says that she just wanted to be fair and make sure that Nell has some time with her as well. And Trisha's like, what y'all talk about in this car? And they was all like, ugh, we don't want to talk about it. It was just being just messiness of everything. And I'm just looking at them like, ugh. So Mrs. Best, I'm gonna switch up the question for you before I move on to the next scene. I already know the answer to this because it's a lose-lose. However, which vehicle would you have much rather have been in? Would you have been in this vehicle with Tisha and Kimmy, or would you have been in there with Nell and Trisha?
I would have went with Nell and Trisha because Trisha knows how to be quiet when there's more than one person around her, and that's good enough for me. Trisha also know that her shit stank, so she not gonna give me too much pushback on anything I got to say because Trisha knows at any moment anybody could read her for filth. I don't want to be in the car with fake bitches. So off the rip that X's out Kimmy and Tisha. And I'm not mad at Destiny. For the first time, I was like, you know what, Destiny, I respect you. You the youngest one on this cast, and you was the most mature with how you handled every bit of Tisha's bullshit from the beginning to the end of the episode. So I hope to see more of this Destiny. If Destiny can behave like this, stop coming up with new mugshots in between seasons, I'd be okay with watching her because it is entertaining to watch people date. And if she was a man, nobody would have much to say about her juggling these boys. If it was if the shoe was on the other foot, and she understands, I think specifically, which we'll get into later with Tisha, especially in the end scene with the winder. I think Destiny understands with the older women. Sometimes you got to just not respond because they're looking for a moment. And I feel like she's very good at ignoring and not giving them that moment because they was going to gang up on her in that car if she didn't switch.
They really was.
And that's
Um,
proof right there. I do wish Destiny would have stood for Nell a little bit harder because if you had to switch cars, I would have been like, and this is exactly why Nell keep returning the fire that you keep throwing. Like
yep.
that, she could have used that as the example because look at what y'all are doing. Y'all bitches don't even like each other, but you sticking together in the name of dick. In the name of dick, at least for Kimmy. I don't know why for Tisha, because I don't think her and Marcel get busy no more. But at least for Kimmy, she's sticking beside Tisha in the name of Maurice, his pink lips, and that pickle he's got in between his legs. So I'm tired of these women. They're miserable. You could
They
tell
are.
Kimmy and Tisha are just miserable in their own marriages because in real life, y'all, coming from an actual wife, like if you actually happy in your marriage or relationship, even if you're not married, you don't have time to be keeping up or into no bullshit with your friends.
Right.
Especially if you know your family and stuff. It's enough going on with that. You don't have time for the extra shit. So the fact that they have the time to talk about it, be on the winery, be okay in the back of a Uber sitting like the three amigos in the truck. No, absolutely not.
And here's my thing about this whole situation. Shanny, hold on one second. Um, you have to choose a car, Shanny. You can't drive your own car. We said in the car with Nell and Trisha or Kimmy and Letitia. And so
Shanny
you
says
have
she'll
to.
walk. Leave my Gemini friend alone. Okay? Because if a Gemini don't want to be up under somebody, and that is the truth, and I need people to hear that. We are the one side where we do not want to be around you or up under you. There's nothing on God's green planet that you could do to get us to fucking go. What I tell you, if you tell Shanny she can't take her car, my good sis is walking. She might sprint, but she not sitting with no bitches that she might have to push out of the car.
Well, see, and that might be fun all within itself.
Nah, if
All
you
you see
sit
is
with Tisha and Kimmy long enough, you could catch a car, catch a charge.
you sure can because I'm telling you, you be wigs flying everywhere.
I
Because I'm
would wait
telling
until the driver's going 85. You know when you on them roads, when you in the cut and the speed limit increases, I wait for him to be going 85, 90, real fast. Roll the window down, unbuckle his seatbelt, and just push her. You can't even tuck and roll, just push her out. I'm so I
you,
could sit in that car with them.
I couldn't either.
And you know,
I've never.
Destiny got priors. Y'all, Destiny got priors. She had to switch. She could have caught another charge. You know, Destiny ain't wrapped tight in the head. She got a temper. Because she, in every mug shot she get, she has no regret in her face.
I can't with you. Not
It's
she.
true. Look at her mug shots.
Oh Lord, that one took me out. But yeah, I'm definitely riding with Nell and Trisha. Even though I don't like Trisha, Nell, I can give or take. It's not realistically one of those situations where I don't hate her. I just don't really care for her because I
You just
feel
got to
like
be careful what to talk about around now. That's
she
all.
said, "I will meet you all there." Shandy is standing on her word. She said, "I will meet y'all there. I am not driving with the Memphis." But anyways, y'all, they get to the winery. And they have their little tasting. They have the little charcuterie boards. They were very small, so I hope they got several of them. Um, and so I think it was Trisha who asked, "Well, how was riding in the car with Nell?" And oh, just like that, I want to look at my notes, y'all. Did she say it was refreshing? I think she said it was refreshing. And Tisha with her stank face, why I had to be all that? And Dusty looks at her. She goes, "What do you mean, Tisha? Like, what are you talking about?" She goes, "That was shade. I caught that. That was shade." And Kimmy's like, "Yep, that was shade." She
If
goes, "It was
you
a
view
response."
being peaceful, if you view someone saying they had a peaceful time away from you as shade, then you are the opposite likely of what we would describe as peaceful. And that is the only reason that this woman got upset.
It was like realistically the most childish and most ignorant shit I've ever seen in my life. Hey, Delightful Dog, thank you for being with us. We appreciate you today. We hope you had a great Merry Christmas. So, as they're going on, Nell sits there. She's quiet. She's observing. She's looking. She has not said anything, y'all. Nell has not said anything. She has not, even though the conversation is centered around her, she has not done anything. So, I can't even get mad at Nell right now. So, it comes to a point where after Destiny went off on Scott 1.0 and 2.0, she said, "Let's talk about our baskets." So they each individually go over what's in their basket. Um, I thought Destiny's was, very sentimental and cute. I did not know she had 5 miscarriages before actually giving birth to her son. That's a lot, y'all. So my heart definitely went out to her because I know that can't be well. And then to also add to the fact that her son actually was fighting for his life at just a few months old. I'm just like, oh, girl. Damn, Destiny, don't get me to crying and actually have a sympathy for you. Wow. Who would have thought, y'all? I would have some sympathy for some Destiny. Mm, 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 mm. I did. Trisha's basket, she had a dumbbell in it, and I said, of course. And then she said that she carries the weight of everybody, her family, and it makes her strong and all that. And I said, okay, Trisha, you still need to go to therapy, finish all 35 of your sessions, please, and thank you. And so Kimmy had, her candle. She had Jalen. She loved her Jalen, y'all, because y'all remember last season, Jalen was talking about how Maurice really wasn't that father figure. And he felt like, that Monster got away with everything. And Maurice and Marcel even agreed because Maurice was the golden child in their household. So, Kimmy got to, pry up that she loved her Jalen, y'all. I said, ain't that something? I know she loved her son. I'm not saying that, y'all. But I'm saying, like, it's all about Jalen now. I'm just saying, I'm catching the optics of that. So then it's Nell's turn. And Nell said, I ain't got nothing for y'all. I'm not comfortable. I'm not in a good place right now. I got a lot going on with my family, my business. I ain't got nothing for y'all. So I didn't put nothing in no basket. I don't feel comfortable with sharing. I'm not with all that. And I was like, that is Mrs. Best. If I never see Mrs. Best.
Leave me the fuck alone, Negro. Don't act up on live. Okay. He trying to James trying to get me to act a fool on the internet. But you know what? That
It
is
is.
me. That
Yes.
is, I do warn people before I crash out. I will warn you. I am a fair Gemini. I will tell you, and that's fair. Because honestly, if someone says to you, I'm dealing with a lot, I'm not in the mood, you done A, B, C, and D, so I'm just here. You feel me? Like, what can you do? It's either
Right.
that, would they rather her Nell do that, or would they rather Nell? They probably would rather Nell act the fool because I feel like that's what they was counting
That's
on.
what I was. Yeah, that's what they was doing. You know, that's what they was doing. Nell
Because the
took the
way
high
Kimmy
road.
said she'll push her in the pool, ever since she said that, I was like, oh, these bitches coming for Nell this season. She coming. Oh, another Gemini.
Oh
I am delighted, delightful
Lord.
Don. We can't get enough of us. I love it. Shout out to all the Geminis. God damn it, we lead all the signs. Know it.
If y'all say so.
It's the
Okay.
truth. No, it's really
Okay.
the truth.
Okay.
We're also a mutable air sign. Love it.
Mm-hmm. 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 But anyways, no, but in the sense of that, that's why it reminded me because I was like, Lord, that is Mrs. Best. She said, look, I ain't got nothing for y'all. I don't have nothing in this basket. I don't feel comfortable. Y'all to rub me the wrong way. I ain't got time. And so before we get to Tisha, I must kind of skip a kind of rearrange the scene a little bit. So Kimmy goes, well, why wouldn't you share with us now? Like you really couldn't think of anything. And she said, no, I couldn't. I'm not, and I don't feel like I'm in the best place with everybody. So Tisha's like, okay, it's my turn. So I have this here. I have gold because I have such a heart of gold. And I have this. And then I have this snake because everyone, I have a lot of these in my life. I'm a girl's girl. And I have a lot of friends that I look at as family. And the thing about it is that when someone gets into it with me, I take it really, really hard. And I'm looking at this lady like,
I keep saying on every live, y'all, and it could be, I don't know, maybe I'm too direct, but anytime a bitch talks about I'm a girl's girl, or people are like, I'm a great person, I have a heart of girl. Well, can you let me motherfucking see it? Why the fuck you gotta tell me you got a heart of gold? Why the fuck you gotta tell me you a girl's girl? Bitch, can you just be my bitch? Why do you have to tell me? Just do it. Whatever happened to action speaking louder than words? I wanted, as soon as Tisha said, I have a heart of gold, I said, you know what, bitch? You just ain't had your ass whooped the right way in the streets. Wanda and them brothers probably protected you, because why would you come at people like that? Like Nell don't have friends. She's a pillar in the community. She has a daycare. The only reason Tisha's a pillar in the community is because of a show and her husband's alleged NDAs. So I'm not understanding why she was so excited to be so hateful. And her basket and what was set up further proves Nell's reason for not wanting to share a basket. Because that's another thing about Geminis. We are not going to let you see the real us, and we will keep shit shallow and surface if you are not trusted. What the fuck? I don't understand why these ladies will treat this lady like crap, talk about her husband, not check the person who is talking about her husband, her kids, her family, and then expect for her to further open up and be more vulnerable about her personal life. When the parts of her personal life that she did share, they're literally taking advantage of for the show because they don't want to show their own shit because it stank. So I genuinely don't understand Tisha's mindset, but I saw mean girl hater energy. This also told me you have too much time on your hands because your husband's not taking you out. That's all I'm gonna say.
that part. I got a lot of comments. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna acknowledge everybody. Kevin said we can keep the sympathy towards Destiny. Sorry, not
I
sorry.
love Kevin.
We
Never
do.
change. Never
Never
change,
change.
Kevin.
We will accept apologies, but we'll put info in storage. Not
And
put
in that
info in
order,
storage.
we never forget.
Shout out to Destiny for the storage. I had to do it, y'all. I had to do it. Destiny is a person I feel like it wasted airtime for. She always has been since the first day she got here. She ain't never gave us nothing. And then when she tried to give us something, we couldn't take the shit serious. Because let me tell y'all something. I get it to and shout out to the young lady who got me together in my comments in one of these videos talking about there's a lot of people who use storage units as business units. I got all that. It was a joke. This is for
No.
entertainment purposes.
Fuck her and fuck that. That's a fucking fire hazard. Girl, I encourage you to go to the fire marshal and see if you'll pass that inspection. Stop playing with us.
This is why I have her here, y'all, because I be trying to be warm. Miss be like, fuck all that. No, this is what's going on. Yep,
Small
y'all.
space and fire. Makes no sense.
Yes, my dimples on demand is here. Thank you for popping up. We appreciate you. Love you, friend. Hope you had a great happy holidays as well. All right, this is a new commenter here. I have not seen you. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're subscribed to me. Does Tisha think this is what her fans want to see from her? She's not a smooth force multiplier. Let me explain
Mm.
something. Tisha was trying to be shady, and Tisha was trying to dig under Nell's skin. And then when Nell responds to her, then I didn't do nothing to Nell. I didn't say nothing to Nell. It was a general statement. It was a general statement. That's
That's what
exactly.
Tisha does, and it's interesting they all said it
Yes.
in their confessional. She does like to throw rocks and hide her hands, but Tisha doesn't realize the damage that she is doing. And I think the reason she doesn't realize it is because I think for Tisha, and I think this is why she's bad for reality TV, I think she really is triggered and bothered.
I do
And I
too.
think that she has genuinely forgotten that she started this shit.
Yes. And that's the point.
At least with Nell, because in your responses to Martell and your responses to other people on the cast, you always dragging Chris Fletcher into it. This man is friends with the men. That's what men do. The same way Tisha would stick beside her girls, Miss I'm a girl's girls, the same way niggas gonna stick together. So I don't understand why you are coming at this lady for something her husband had did that you didn't like, that he really didn't even do to you. It just supported a fact of somebody else who did do something to you. So I'm
And
looking at Tisha like, girl, this ain't your fight in any way, and you put yourself in some business that ain't got nothing to do with you. This is why I say mind your black owned business. Cause now you done pissed off Nell, and I think Nell do know some shit.
I think well, here's the thing, because you brought up a really good point. Marcel and Tisha been bringing up Chris's shit even before they were full time cast members. If y'all can go back, I don't remember what season it was. There was a conversation that Tisha and Marcel were having in the car when she pulled up in black, and they were talking. And he said, "Me and my friend went to Atlanta." And then when Carlos, I think at that same season's reunion, he asked, "Well, what friend was it?" Marcel said it was Chris Fletcher. So they continuously dragged that man in they bullshit because I don't believe it. I think that was an easy target. So yeah, I'm just I hate I had to defend Nail like this because I don't like Nail, but at the same time, right is wrong is wrong. Tisha did start this shit because
Nell is
Tisha,
not likable though, not because she's a liar and not because she be on bullshit. Nell is not likable because she's annoying, hypersensitive, over emotional,
yes,
and gaslights her family. But in terms of how she handled the women, aside from her little attempt last season with Melody, the energy that they have towards her is not warranted. It just does not make sense. And I agree with the comment from Pacino Rules 752, not to skip ahead, because that is the truth. That is the honest to God truth. They have stuff to talk about, but they don't want to talk about it. Is the thing with the Scots, because what there is to talk about, it will impact their kids. It's not cute. I mean, for Kimmy and them, no one's impacted. Their kids is damn near grown.
uh,
But
right. So then this brings up the point: to why be on this show?
I don't know why anyone would be on TV if they don't want to disclose what's going on in their life. I mean, think of it, if these were actual actors, we know the lives of what's going on with actual actors unintentionally, but then we could at least be like, okay, we'll respect your private space. But you signed on to do a reality television show called Love and Marriage Huntsville by a black man that likes to exploit the black community for a check. So I don't know why they're here, but I feel like the Scots need to leave the show. if there's any hope for this mess being fixed. The Scots need to leave. They need new editors, and Carlos King needs to stop being like Tyler Perry and allow other people to help him with this show immediately.
Lord, I'm scared to say that man on live, that man's name on live with all the shit he got going on right now. But anyways, y'all. Um, so that was pretty much the episode because Tisha and Nell went back and forth about who was right, who was wrong, who did what, who said what. We pretty much gave it to you guys in this last 2 minutes. So for me, as I said, y'all using Nell as a scapegoat and it's wrong. Y'all did the same thing to Melody. A lot of people don't want to admit that, but they did. They used Melody Martell's bullshit for seasons until they could not get anything else out of them.
No, a lot of people do agree with that. I don't know what you see. That's why this show has lost so many people watching it, because it's not fun to watch the same people for seasons who done really, once these people divorced and started dating, they could have moved on. This show is not going to succeed with the Scots on it. It's not going to succeed, I don't think, with Destiny on it. They have to get rid of all these people, and even Trisha and Ken's storyline is tired. It's tired. She says she
Delightful
gets her
Don,
life.
you better come through. Thank you for being my extra partner here. I appreciate you. Yes, like she said, like the video, y'all. There's 10 of y'all in here. 8 likes. Come on, like the video. Come on. I know y'all having a good time. We turning up right now. It is early for us. So yes, come on. I'm glad you put this comment up because Mrs. Best has sent this to me. Y'all, I don't want to go in on these people, but I have to do my, this is what I said to Mrs. Best in response. It was given Sheree Whitfield, Real Housewives of Atlanta. It takes a long time. It's a huge house. I had a problem with the contractor, not the contractor, but the guy who was misappropriating funds. So I had to get new contractors. But it's moving forward, and y'all be the first ever for tea. If y'all don't get out of here with that shit.
And it was Tisha and Marcel's faces trying to look serious with the way that they edited the picture, the hue that they used, and all of that. It just made them look like blackball bosses that ain't been caught yet. I need for them to understand that taking a picture in front of a house that you have been building since the world was shut down, this is not a flex. He done finished plenty of other people's houses but can't finish his own family home. Marcel is waiting on the kids to be grown and out the house and for Tisha to leave. Then the house is going to magically finish. I promise y'all.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. Yeah. Where were we? Kevin knows what you're talking about. After how Nell betrayed Mel's friendship, I couldn't care less that Tish and Kimmy, with their fake asses, attacked Nell. Karma is a bitch. Period.
That's actually a good perspective because Nell did
Yeah.
do Mel dirty. However, the way that she did with the argument that Nell, my mouth, fuck. The argument that Nell has and the issue that she has with Tisha in them is different kind of than the issue with Mel, in my opinion. Though she did do Mel a little dirty, I don't feel like it was just a huge betrayal. I feel like what they're doing to Nell this season is worse. That's just my personal opinion. But
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that none of these people are entertaining or likable. It does not help. So there's that.
Letitia, Delightful Dawn. Letitia has it posted on her page on Instagram if you want to see where it's posted. So I agree with that. I do feel like it depends on what we're talking about too at the same time. Are we talking about when she was with that picture with Coleslaw and Marcel? Is that what we're talking about, the betrayal? Because I kind of go back and forth with that. I do. Because it wasn't like they met up for dinner. Like if it was something like this, they met up for dinner, or if it was something like intimate, then yeah, that's a betrayal. But they were at a public event, so I'm kind of like,
I think the problem with Nell last season was that in moments where she had the opportunity to stand up for Melody, and not just last season, but seasons prior, she did not. I would never allow a pile up on my friend. I don't care if it's me and James against 40,000 people. I'm not just going to
Right.
allow them to pile up. So I do feel like Nell could have defended Melody more, but I also feel like when you when you marry, it's hard. It seems like Nell is the one that deals with the backlash of Fletcher's bullshit.
Is that how we're looking at it? Because if we're looking at it
That's,
like from this perspective, then yes, I agree. That's
I
what I'm trying
mean,
to say.
they
What are we
essentially
talking
did
about?
because
Yeah.
he's so close to Martell. But Nell had a relationship with Melody. But I also feel like, and I know a lot of people don't like that I feel this way, but I'm not a huge Love and Marriage Huntsville fan. I get that Mel is cool and stuff, but it is unrealistic when you get a divorce from someone that you were with, made friends with, shared friends with. It is unrealistic to expect people to choose sides. Unless
Right.
that man was dragging you and putting his hands on you and you was in like some sort of dangerous situation, that's unfair for people outside of your relationship to be expected to choose sides. If it's like girlfriends and stuff that you had prior, fine. But if it's friends and people that you met while together, which Nell and them were that, then you can't really expect for them to, pick a side. But even so, the only one who owed Melody anything is herself, and Martell owes her
Right.
an apology. So I don't
I
know.
say,
Love and Marriage Huntsville fans be smooth on that though. Y'all be so serious on no Melody. They
yeah.
should have sided with her. Nobody should have sided with nobody. Let's be adults. People got divorced. It is what it is. Get over it.
I feel like this, and that's what, and I knew this is probably what you were talking about, Kevin Reynolds. I don't know. It's the picture does not show them face to face. It shows them looking at each other as if it was caught off guard and surprise. So I can't say that she knew about the picture. Is it possible? Yes, but at the same time, I'm not even talking about the whole picture thing. I'm talking about because it looks like a setup. It did. It looked like a setup. It looked because I saw Martell smiling in the background. It looked like it was a setup. So for me, I don't know how much Nell could have known about it, but at the same time, even if she did know there was a picture potentially out there, it wasn't like it was a formal first time and that it was a whole setup. That's what it
At
looks
the
like
end of
to
the
me.
day, she was at an event with her husband in a small town where you bound to see other people and she saw somebody else. What is she supposed to do? Ignore the lady and go off?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why I'm like, that's
what is she
unrealistic.
supposed
Like,
to
yes.
do? My
Thank you.
husband's friends, I don't like none of them niggas. I ain't never like none of my husband's friends, girlfriends, wives, partners, none of it. But I'm in some pictures with them. Cause they smile. How you doing today?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right, bitch. We gonna smile and take this picture. Well, I don't trust your ass.
She didn't even
That's
do
what
that.
it happens all the time. What's she supposed to do? Make a scene at the polo event?
Right.
Going off while dressed in her Sunday best? No.
That's why I'm saying, like, for me, I can't call that Nell's karma. I don't think that that's a karma statement. I think that in any way, these ladies don't have shit going on in their lives, or they don't want to talk about the shit going on in their lives. So they're going to pick a target. And naturally, what people do is they pick on the target that got the biggest mouth and they tag team because they know they can't take her individually. So that's what it's going on here. I don't think this is a karma thing. I just think that they don't want to talk about the shit that's going on. So they're just gonna, tag team and get the one who got the loudest mouth to make sure that they keep this check coming. That's
I
all
do
that this
think
shit
with the
is.
karma thing, though, I think every cast member will experience their karma in some way based on how the whole cast worked
Mm-hmm.
against Melody. And that was not right. And Nell was included in that, and that was some bullshit. But I do think that what we're going to see, just because I do believe in karma, so I get what Kevin Reynolds is saying. This may
Mm-hmm.
be some form of Nell's karma because she did at one point with the rest of the cast not stand up for Melody. I wasn't even thinking of the picture really, but not standing up for your friend while a bunch of other people is talking about her, trying to come at her and against her when she's the reason for the show. Not okay. But I do think now Tisha's experiencing her karma or may experience it at the reunion or at least in the court of the public opinion, which is the audience. And Kimmy and them is coming. I feel like all of these cast members are going to experience some form of karma for how they treated Melody because they treated Melody like that because it seemed like, in my opinion, that they were jealous of her. Now she's gone. They could be the stars of the show, but they don't know how to shine bright and be interesting without picking at each other, which is not going to be well received. So
Right.
they'll all get theirs eventually.
Oh yeah, they are going to get this because it's like you just said. Melody carried the show on her back and was willing to expose pretty much all of her drama, while the others sit back and picked at it one by one. So I do feel like to some extent they are going to get their karma. And as I said, I understand what we're saying about Nell and her not defending Melody to the extent that she should have, being her friend. But to be honest, nobody really stood up for Mel in the sense of being a friend. Not Destiny, not Stormy, not Tiffany, not Nail. So not no one really stood up for Mel in the same sentiment that they stuck up for each other. So it wasn't just Nail, it was everybody. So that's why I'm saying, like, I just can't single Nail out of saying this is her karma when they all
I think
turned their
with
backs on
Nell,
Nelly.
though, it can somewhat be her karma just off the strength that she had some type of a deeper relationship with Melody compared to the rest of them at the time that she started acting a fool. Because Melody and Tisha ain't been cool in a minute. It's all been fake. And
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy, I feel like she just puts up with everybody for the sake of being on the show. Destiny, I don't feel like was ever a friend to anybody. She probably here because she saw a come up in somebody. And, you know, Nell, I feel like if you want to be the mentor, because it seemed like she was trying to be the mentor, or like the mother hen of this group, you cannot turn on people and go along with other people just based on what the majority is doing. So, for that reason, I'll say that. Don't make yourself the self mama bear of the group, but be willing to turn on people because leaders and mama bears don't do that. But, it
That
is
I
what
agree
it
with.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that too. I feel like that's the biggest mistake somebody can make when coming on a show like this is that you try to be the voice of reason or the leader of the pack or the one with the experience and trying to guide people. I do feel like that is one of the quickest ways to get the knife and the daggers thrown at you because then people try to challenge it and try to test you. So I do agree with that absolutely. I think that was probably her biggest mistake, but at the same time that was how she was introduced to us. So we could say she shouldn't have did it, but at the same time, that is what the same place Melody put her in. So it's kind of like, okay, well, she was gonna be damned if she did and damned if she don't. You know what I'm
They
saying?
have
Like,
to stop though, because I'm looking at Pacino Rules comment also. The piling on of cast members, I think, across all reality shows is draining.
yes, yes,
I'm covering Beverly Hills right now, the Housewives, and they do it so bad. That's part of why Garcelle
mm,
left. But they've been doing this so bad on this show. They're doing it on Housewives of Potomac. They're
yes.
doing it. They're doing it across several shows. The pylon is never going to be fun to watch and is always going to turn people off because deep down, I don't think anybody really likes a bully except for the truly miserable. And when
Well,
you
I don't.
piling on the people, that's what you're essentially doing. And it's like, okay, y'all did it an episode ago. Y'all did it another episode ago. Y'all did it before the season took its weird ass break. At some point, the pylon has to stop. But it seems like Tisha, when that lady was slithering that snake in Destiny and Nail's face, I said, oh, she's never going to end the pylon. And that's where
No,
production needs to step in.
exactly. And I don't. And I'm gonna speak for my channel because I review those shows. Let me explain something to y'all. I'm getting sick of the bully behavior with somebody new comes on the show that production brings them on to fit in with y'all ladies to keep the show going. That is not for y'all to sit there. Okay, well, let's pull back all the layers and all of the messiness and things like that. And I need more people when y'all come on these shows and when they start doing that, y'all need to be like Stacey Rush and start checking people.
Right, because Stacy wiped it. She ignored it for a second. She ignored them for a smooth. Well, for first season she would leave, and then she came back, and then she ignored them the first half of the season, and now she's sick of these hoes. She's putting people out. She said, "Toodaloo, bitch." I said, "Wait a second."
Yeah, because you got to start listening. Let me say something to y'all. When
Figured
people
it
start
out.
doing that shit, you better get to cussing. You better get to throwing people out your shit. You better get to like cussing
But they
out.
need to do reality stars like they do flight attendants. Okay? They need to put them all in a house as contestants together to vie to see since they really want these checks. Put them all in the house and see how they handle conflict before you put them on these shows, because not everybody can deal with that.
I can't even guess who this is. Who, Delightful Don, who is the lady with the
Big
big face?
face.
Please, because that could go to a couple of them.
Right.
I need you to be bold, specific. Say a name. You safe on this channel. I promise you, you safe. Say who it is, so that way, if I can agree with this or not. Because
Child.
let me tell you, it's a couple of them that I'm right now. I don't know if that comes on tonight or not, but right now in this day and age, that can go to a couple of them because some of them are getting on my nerves. Some of them are getting on my nerves right now. So, but yeah, but that was, that was pretty much the episode, y'all. This shit was stupid. I'm not gonna lie. This was definitely something they could have kept into the new year or swapped it out with something better. I know there's definitely more on the cutting room floor that they are not putting in, and I don't know why. Okay, so you are talking about who I thought you were talking about. Okay, so she's talking about Sweet Tea, y'all. So, do I feel like the ladies gained up on her?
Sweet Tea asked for that. What the fuck you expect going on the show of your husband's ex-wife? Sweet Tea knew exactly what she was doing. Sweet Tea is intelligent when it comes to other stuff. She knew what she was doing with that. She knew exactly what she was doing. And Sweet Tea and Quad is one and the same. They married that man for his money, not for his looks, not for his tenderness, not for the love of not for his. I don't even think he got a BBC. I don't know what it is, but they got to be with him for his money or something. Ain't no way.
Girl, you about to kill me. But
Sweet Tea asked for that shit, in my
I don't.
opinion.
To me, I feel like I would have never came on the show if I was Sweet Tea.
I'm not going in the space of my current husband's ex-wife. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I'm not, and another thing, I'm not living in her house. He would have had to sell
Living
that
in her
motherfucker.
house with the
Yeah, I'm
same
not.
furniture set
Yeah,
up, we would have had to knock down a wall and be like Wendy and Eddie and went into some debt, put a credit card under the name of Delilah and Buck. But I am not going to be the one to sit here and be living in the next bitch's house.
I wouldn't do it, y'all. Like, I'm sorry, you would have to sell that
Cooking in the
house, and we would have to
same
get
kitchen, fucking him in the
no.
same rooms. Ain't no way
And then
that
got the
I'm going to do
nerve to
that.
have a box of her shit. So I was like, what? No,
Nah, ain't no way. I'm toxic too,
no.
delightful Don. I got toxic behavior too. I got toxic behavior myself. I do, but ain't no way. See, y'all gotta understand. I beat up my husband's ex girlfriend. I'm not rap tight. Okay, that was years ago. I've been delivered and saved since then. But not all of us got the strength. Okay, not all of us got that strength. Sweet Tea is she's strong. She's strong. Cause ain't no way.
Oh, I remember when I was 29, I had dated this widower one time.
Oh, that sounds
And
sad.
no, listen, just hear me out. So I had dated a widower one time, and I remember he was like, he still lived in the marital home, right?
Mm.
And I was like, so if the relationships get serious, are you gonna sell the home? And he goes, oh no, ideally the house is huge. So I would like, my partner to move in. I said, I'm not gonna have the spirit of your, you know, deceased spouse, haunting me in the home. That's not about to happen. Why I say that man got so offended by that. And
My
I was
mom almost didn't get married a couple years ago with the husband she's with now. His wife passed away. He raised his kids, single dad, had a beautiful house in Pittsburgh, which is nice out here in the Bay now. And my mom was like, I don't like it. There's pictures of her up. I said, because his
right.
kids live there. That's their mama. I had to talk to her. I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? You mind y'all, my mother is a licensed therapist. I said, you of all people.
No, I'm not. See, and I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to think of a situation to where I could move into somebody else's house like that. Like, and I
I
remember
like I
I was
said, do like Wendy and Eddie. Knock out a wall and pay for it with a credit card in the name of Delilah and Buck and figure it out later. Okay? Figure it out later. Figure it
I
out later.
don't. I don't think that's gonna help, friend. Like that's why I said I brought up that story to say I don't know if there is a situation into where I could do that. That's why I'm saying. And I remember I went on that date and we were talking about that. And I was like, and the lady was gone. And like I'm like, I still don't want to live in her house. Like that's still to me, that
Okay.
was y'all marital home. And even though she's no longer with us, I'm not finna move in that lady house. I'm not finna do that.
I don't know. I'm
I
also
just can't do
very
that. I'm sorry.
See, I always say if something happened to me and my spouse gets somebody else, I'm gonna be in the house haunting them, but I'm gonna be helping the bitch,
Hey,
whispering in her ear. He like his Brussels sprouts cooked hard. Like I'm gonna be helping her out. Look at him put me
and that
on.
would be the quickest way to get me running. Because I feel like that's the shit that would happen. I'd be like, I got to go. No, sorry. I heard a voice whisper about some Brussels sprouts. I got to go. I got to go. I'm not doing this. Hell, fuck no. You can have this house. I will be at my own shit. And when you want to bring your ass on, no, there's no way. No, you ain't finna do that shit to me. No, absolutely
I
not.
think Delightful asked who's reviewing. I would assume Married to Medicine. If you're asking who reviews that, Married to Medicine, Housewives of Potomac, Housewives of Salt Lake City are all being reviewed on James's channel
Yeah,
right
it's all on
now.
my channel. Yeah. All on my channel. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore your comment. I was having too much fun with this. I really was.
I'm
Um,
dying.
well, yes, I said deceased spouse like an idiot. And that man was so through. That man told me not to call him no more. He's good. Thank you very much.
Oh, he don't need to be dating because what are you supposed to say? She's dead. It's sad, but would you rather be like, "Oh, she's dead," or "Oh, she's deceased"? My condolences. Like, what? She's dead. If you,
It's just,
oh,
girl. It just was a weird conversation to have at first. Like this is like, I know this was our second date. We went on 2 dates. But it was a weird conversation to have. But then also, I felt how I felt. Like I was not moving into that house. Like I was no. That's like memories and shit. Because what if I walk in the room and you crying over some shit?
it sounds like he need to
Like
move.
he do. That's why I told him. But he didn't want to move. He loved his home, and that's why I'm saying there's not a situation. And I'm thinking, like, what if they were dead? But I was like, no, I actually had a situation where the lady was dead, and he just, he didn't want to date women after that. He just went straight to men. So it was like, damn, that yeah, there was a lot of issues
He
there.
probably felt that way before she died, and her death might have opened that up, that gate.
No, I don't think so. Because his youngest child at that
I ain't
time was
met not
3.
a damn straight man that say just because somebody passed away, now they gonna try dating men. The truly heterosexual don't do that. He probably felt that way and couldn't express it. And that's probably why he was so emotional when you pointed out that the woman was gone. Because he's probably like, damn, I'm still in her house. She gone, and now I'm bringing men in here. He knows she wouldn't have liked that. Trying to tell you. Be
Maybe,
surprised. You'd be surprised.
maybe. But I'm just saying, I thought the shit was weird. It was
James
wild.
said either way, he got the fuck out of Dodge.
I sure did. I was not doing that. I'm sorry. Like that turned into a whole debacle because I was like, I'm not moving in some lady house that died. And no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, no, that's weird. So I damn for sure ain't gonna move in no lady house when y'all divorced. Like, if I'm not gonna move into a house where a lady has died in, what the fuck you think I'm gonna do? A lady who got divorced and that was y'all married at home? No, we gonna get some new shit. I can't knock down no wall. I can't do none of that shit that you talking. I got to get a fresh. Matter of fact, we got to go over there to KB Homes and get us a house from
How did
scratch.
I
And watch
know he was gonna mention the KB home? Because they always popping up. I could
I got
not.
I got to go to a KB home and we got to get the biggest one they got and build that motherfucker up from scratch. That way I know.
James said, even if we gotta buy the model home once all the property
Okay,
is sold, we
exactly. Yes. I'll take the furniture too. That way I ain't got to buy shit.
I'm dying. I cannot. Lord help us.
We is crazy, but girl, I gotta get up out of here though, y'all. But I appreciate everybody. This was a great time. This is a great. We took about a week and a half off from doing lives and everything, so we are happy to be back. I wasn't too happy about doing Love and Marriage Huntsville as my first show back, but honestly, these side conversations, these rabbit hole conversations, usually are the best time. They usually are because we started revealing shit that hell I didn't forgot about. That was almost 10 years ago. So
I will be
Yes.
live later with you, James. Um I'll do it at 7:30 my time. I'm
Okay.
not
Yeah,
happy about my live either. So
I should be home by that time, and I'm gonna watch it. When I get to my uncle's house. So yes, but y'all, thank you guys for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe, especially if y'all like what y'all hear. And I might do like a little story time live where me and Mrs. Best come up on here and give us some of our old school dating stories or something, just to make it fun, just to do something a little different. I have a lot of stories,
you
y'all.
try to
Oh
get
my
me in
god.
trouble. Talk about old school dating
You
story.
do it all the time on here. Shut up. You do it all the time on here. Ain't gonna be no different than any other time. Oh well. You see, I do the shit while he ain't here. So that's why he don't watch us. So what the fuck yes. So here.
Oh Lord, help us, God.
Because there's still shit I ain't said. So hell. you you ain't got
Telling
to
on
know
yourself.
you ain't
Telling
got
on
to you ain't
yourself.
got to you ain't got to know everything. I mean, it can't hurt you. No, I'm just playing. He know everything, y'all. He do, but it's just, yeah. But yes, we definitely go do the Dustas. I felt like what time Central? It would be at 7:30. No, shit. Eight.
Pacific California time zone, y'all.
Okay,
Pacific Standard Time Zone. There we go.
which is 8:30 Central.
Oh. Oh,
Eight
what time?
thirty.
Oh shit. Yeah, I
Eight
don't.
thirty. That's why I was like, wait, 7:30 Pacific.
I
So
got
y'all an
East Coast
hour.
down and I got Pacific Time Standard down. I don't Central, I always fuck it up. I don't know.
Yeah, because Central, because daylight savings fucks it up for y'all. That's why I wouldn't have
It
that shit.
confuses me.
I don't have a daylight savings here, so
And
I
then
don't
there's
have
the
to go through
Mountain
that.
Standard Time too, because of daylight savings that be going on full
Yes.
check. So I
Mhm.
please excuse me, y'all. I'm in California. We be confused. We just trying to survive.
Right. All right, but you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you later on tonight on Mrs. Best channel. Make sure you subscribe to her. Information is in my description box if you're not already subscribed. And have a great day, you guys. Bye bye.